Hello, and welcome to another episode of Focus on Tomorrow. Focus on Tomorrow is a nonprofit located in Chicago, Illinois. You can find us on the web at www.focus-on-tomorrow.org, or you can email us at info@focus-on-tomorrow.org. Today we're doing something a little different. My name is Will Barroso, by the way, and normally when you think about a church, you think about a place of worship, and you sometimes forget that churches have a place in the community. They work towards improving where we live, and today we're going to feature one of those churches. It's Rose of Light Missionary Baptist Church, and with us representing Rose of Light is Pastor Jasper C. Edwards.
Thank you so much, Will.
Thank you for coming on.
Glad to be here. To be here.
Thank you. The first thing I want to ask you is, why don't you tell me a little bit about the mission of Rose of Light?
Our mission is we're a rose, and we're shining in a dark area.
Yeah.
So Inglewood is where our church is located. It is considered a dark area, and our church is the beacon light in Inglewood to help bring folk in a little closer to their spiritual side.
Okay. And I know you took over as pastor in 2005. How much growth have you seen in the church since you took over as pastor?
About 85%, so that's like 208 members from the time I took over to now.
Wow, yeah, that's quite a bit of growth. You must be really popular because we're already experiencing callers. Caller, what is your question or comment? Oh, we lost that one. But this is a call-in show, so feel free to call in. Our number is 312-738-1060. Pastor Edwards, let me ask you, when did you first know that you were meant to serve the church?
I've been in the church all my life. I got into it when I started dealing with the classes and then dealing with people, especially our young people in the church. As I was coming in, I was considered the youth pastor. And as the youth pastor, I started dealing with our teenagers and all the different problems that we were going through here in the church. And it just gave me a zeal to push forward to serve. And so I stood there and stayed there, and finally I got my chance.
Yeah. Now, you were telling me earlier before we went on air that you did grow up in the church.
Yes.
And now you're pastor. How amazing of a feeling is that to grow up within this one community and then be its leader?
It's a great feeling. And to be accepted without a fight or a challenge is even greater than to have those same people who grew up around me and with me and watched me grow to now support me and let me be their leader. It's a real great feeling. I can't even explain it, how awesome it is to have these people trust me the way that they trust me here at the church.
No.
It's a great feeling. It is.
Fantastic. And as I was saying earlier, churches have an important role in the community. It's not just a place where we go and we worship, but they play a vital role in the success of a community. Is there really a fine line between being a pastor and a community activist?
A very fine line. A pastor is more personal, and I take my position as pastor very serious with our members and even with the community. There's some folk who will come to me in the community and not a part of the church, but yet still express their emotions to me. And that's, as a pastor, that's the emotional side of me. The activist side of me, I'm all over the place. And so I'm very well in front of things and dealing with other things that are more up front than being the pastor. So it's a very fine line, and I try to walk it real good too.
Yeah, I bet. So let me ask you about some of these programs that you have at the church. One of them is called Vessels of Praise Dance Ministry, correct?
Yes.
So what is that program about?
It's a group of young ladies in the name of Deborah Schaefer, Sandra Tucker, and Miss Tony Perham, and these ladies dance in the church, and they are artists in dancing, and the atmosphere that they dance in is the canvas, and so it's their job to paint the spiritual portrait so those in the worship can actually see. It makes my job easier as they're dancing and painting the portrait. This way, when I come out, the atmosphere is already set due to them, and it's taken off pretty well. It's spreading. We not only dance in the church, but we also dance in the neighborhood, as far as on block clubs and different places that we go. It's an awesome ministry. It's an awesome ministry.
Is this a way to recruit young people into the church?
Yes. Yes, there's a way to open doors
And,
for
and
young people into the church.
how enthusiastic are these young people when they come and they participate in a program like this?
They're very excited. We have two groups now. We have our teenagers, those who are going into high school, and then we have our babies, who all want to dance and put on the outfit and dance and twirl the batons, and it's very exciting to watch. But at the same time, it's real spiritually nurturing to see these young people take hold and want to do this.
That's fantastic. It does sound like Rose of Light focuses a lot on youth. Another program you have is the Youth Mentor Boot Camp, correct?
Yes.
What is that program like?
Well, being where our church is at, geographically, we have a lot of homes that are single-parent homes, and I work with a group of young men in a Masonic lodge called the Joseph 12, and they provide my mentoring for my young boys and for my young ladies in the church, and they spend time with them on Saturdays, and they get with them, and some of our teenagers, they go over and talk to them about job applications, how to dress, and just build up their self-esteem. Our boot camp is actually a regiment of exercise that we've put together, so our younger people who make poor choices will understand the consequences in life ends up pretty rough when they make the poor choices, and I'd rather catch them there before I have to go stand in front of a judge in a courtroom with them. I'd rather catch them there. We've got some good views on our boot camp there as well.
Great. And it looks like we do have another caller. Caller, what is your question or comment?
Yeah, good evening to y'all. Now, when you know the media, right?
Yes.
Now, when they say about church to be in other community, why not the mosque? When they say about the mosque, they want to be in. Why they want the mosque in the other communities? Why is that? But they want churches in the community. Why is that?
Whether they want to march in the communities?
Okay, why sometimes they don't want a mosque in the community, but they want the churches in the community? Why is that sometimes?
Why is it that they want to march and not the church?
Okay, what I'm trying to say, they want the church to be in the community, but sometimes they don't want the mosque, like the Muslim church, church. Why they don't want them in the community sometimes?
Oh, the mosque.
Oh, the mosque.
The mosque.
Okay, the mosque. That's a pretty good question, and unfortunately, I've never experienced that.
Yeah.
Well, I've never experienced that. We work where I'm at. We work with any religious organization that's willing to work with us.
Okay, because sometimes they don't want church in the community. Sometimes they be on it with the media. I don't know why. Okay, then y'all doing a good job.
Well, thank you.
Well, I guess I sort of understand his question,
Yes.
And I think there is some sentiment that way. But my experience with different religious organizations is that their religion sort of transcends sort of beliefs, and their different denominations and different beliefs come together and just work towards the greater good. Do you feel that way?
I feel exactly the same way, and that's the way my ministry. In my ministry, that's the way we do it. It doesn't matter if you're Baptist. It doesn't matter if you're AME or Muslim. It doesn't matter, as long as we're all working together in one common goal to get in one direction is what I'm focusing on. And the caller was so absolutely right. There is so much segregation in the religious community. If you're not this, you're not that. You can't come on our side. We can't go on your side. And that's one of the barriers that I'm trying to break as a pastor. That we need to come together for the common good, not just not for religion and doctrine's sake only. Yeah.
Absolutely. One of the issues at hand is what you were just talking about with a lot of our young people and trying to get in front of that, right? So that you don't have to be reactive, you're being proactive.
Yes.
So what kind of success rate are you seeing with programs like your mentoring bootcamp?
We see a great success rate. We even have folk who don't even belong to the church actually call up and want us to actually come out and visit with their home, visit in their homes, and we have a document we bring, and they would sign off, and we would take the kids for 2 to 3 hours, and we would work them, and at the same time we're giving them a directive to go, and we would be, in my opinion, I think it's a great success. We have a lot of parents that's using us. That don't mind trusting us with their children. We pay pop visits. When we actually go to homes, ring the doorbell, and hey, it's us, and come on. It's almost like a military. And one of the gentlemen who runs it, by the name of Brother Keith Tucker, he's ex-military, so he helps run it, and his regimen of running it is real well, because it gives my younger people a sense of understanding that when you make a bad choice, you give up your freedom, and so now you become controlled by somebody else. And we've had some that walked away and we've never seen them again, because they don't want that treatment. And we have some that have called us and told us, hey, Reverend, I'm doing pretty well, I'm graduating, you guys want to come to my graduation? Yeah, it's real good.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I think one of the issues that's facing some of these impoverished communities is lack of employment. Unemployment is really high, especially on the south side, where Rose of Light is located. Do you, through some of your programs, do you try to help teens find employment so that they can start building a resume and start building that future?
Yes. We have a summer program, our summer camp. Young lady Deborah Schaefer, she runs that program, and we hire all of our young people within our church and within our community, and we teach them how to build up resumes. This year we're doing a different format. When they come to get the summer jobs this year, they'll have to sit into an actual class where they'll learn how to do their resumes and what to dress and how to prepare for an interview. And then on the other side of that, we're also dealing with our felons in the community. There's a group that I have. I'm a HVAC background, and so what I do with my young men who can't find jobs, I actually take them and we go and we book jobs and schedule home repairs, and we give them the jobs. I give them the jobs, and as they're doing it, it builds us a great self-esteem that they can put back into the community as well.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that it makes them feel good to accomplish something and start building their own professional resume. That's fantastic. So when you say that you work with some of these young people to learn how to conduct themselves in interviews, and that's intimidating. How do they react to some of this training?
Well, some of them are terrified. They've never been through this before, but at the same time, we're there to actually coach them through it, talk with them, and one of the things, it may sound cliche, but we always tell them we love them. Yeah, we're not here to hurt you. We're basically here to take care of you, and I don't care if you have me doing 14 push-ups. I don't see too much love, you know. Yeah. So, but all in all, it comes out, and as we talk with them, they now become more comfortable with us. They'll come to us now for different things, and in school programs, we go to schools, we pay pop visits at schools. The mentoring program, the Brothers of Joseph 12, we'll go to their schools, and we're cheering them on. We've now become their cheer section for them when they're doing good, just as well as we're the guys who put you in boot camp, but we're the guys now who cheer you on. We give some children, we give prizes to. We do quite a bit for them to keep them motivated. It's my personal feeling that one needs to be pushed and motivated in order to keep moving forward, especially our young people.
Absolutely. And this is the second time you mentioned pop visits.
Yeah.
What exactly is that?
Our pop visit will show up unexpectedly. We've set up deals. We set up communications with the schools that they belong to, with their homes, the parents, the grandparents, whoever was the guardian. We'll set up visit, and they'll give us the okay to come in. We'll walk into school, and the principal will take us exactly to their classroom, and we get a chance to watch them perform in the classroom. So
a chance to make sure they're also doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yes,
fantastic.
Sir. Yes, sir. It's great.
I commend you on all this work that you're doing with young people, because that is really important. It is such an impressionable stage in their lives, and you're catching them early. And you mentioned earlier that you deal with a lot of kids who come from single-family homes. Even kids who come from homes with two parents. Sometimes it's not enough. I mean, to have just two parents, it takes a village, and it's important to have people in the community like yourself and your organization.
Thank you.
Doing what you do. I commend you.
Thank you.
One thing that you have going on at church is a children's weekly worship service.
Yes.
Why do you feel it's important to have kids worship separate from adults?
Well, I want to get them on their own level of worship.
Okay.
I don't want them to mimic me. I don't want them to mimic the senior elders of our church. I want them to have their own identification of worship. And I have a great worship leader in the name of Minister Winslow Perham. Him and his wife, Christian Perham, they are an awesome team, and they work with our children. And I sit and I watch them as they comprehend learning the Bible on their level. And how they explain it on their level. I have a 5-year-old, and anytime he can tell me that David hit the giant in the eye with a rock, that's amazing to me as a 5-year-old on his level. And it's awesome to watch him. And so we've done it. We've piloted it first, and then we let it go. And as we let it go, we watch how many children come, and they enjoy being there. They sing their own songs. They do their own style of worship, and we don't interfere. We just watch them, and it is great to see them all rally to get there in the morning.
No.
So yeah, I got to give them their own identity.
And I'm sure that also helps increase their commitment to the community and,
Yes.
and each other. It builds a little community within
Yes.
themselves, right?
Yes, it does.
Fantastic. So you also play a leadership role in in an organization called PAVE, right?
Yes.
Pastors Against Violence for Everyone.
Yes, Pastors Against Violence.
What is this organization?
This
all about?
organization is a group of pastors on the south side over in Inglewood and the Auburn Gresham area. We've come together as pastors. Now we're not trying to start a reformation. We're not trying to start any new thing. We're just pastors that care about our community, and what we've been doing is reaching out to communities that have been hit hard by violence and plagued by violence. We would go there in that community, and we would hold a prayer vigil, prayer meetings with them. We have dancers that dance, our vessel of praise that dances in those neighborhoods. And at the end of this hour service that we do, we grab everybody in the neighborhood and we put them in the middle of the street, and we end it in a prayer. And it has been great success. We have people that call us up now and got a schedule to come to their blocks for this summer already, and the gentlemen that the pastors that work along with us in that program are awesome preachers, and it's all about giving up our time. We're not trying to start a new reformation. We want to work with anybody and everybody that's willing to do the same thing. Just reach out. One of the things that we were talking about in our meeting last night at PAVE is that we're getting ready to open up our doors where we can bring other pastors in to give us an idea of what they want in their area around their church. What can we bring and what can we help them do as far as PAVE with Pastors Against Violence? I believe if we get out there instead of marching after the shooting, if we get out there and march before the shooting, I believe it can curb the violence just a little bit more. That's what I do believe.
Absolutely, and it sounds like you're sort of reaching out of Inglewood now, and you're branching out into other neighborhoods, which is incredibly important. Where do you see the future of this mini organization?
I'm visualizing the future and it being widespread. We're starting in Inglewood, Auburn, Gresham. We're targeting the west side. We're trying to get all over. Matter of fact, we would like to leave the state.
Wow.
That's our future vision. We like to leave the state and go state to state where there's violence playing, all type of violence, and we're standing for all violence, not just in our communities, not just the shootings. We're talking everything that's under the umbrella of violence. We're against, and we'll stand for them and stand with them.
No. And how do you do that? How do you stand against violence exactly?
Well, one of the things that we do at PAVE, we're in the neighborhoods, and we would want to be with the. Unfortunately, when we come, it's always the victim. We connect with victims, so we want to stand with the victim. We want to be with the family to assure them that you have somebody on your side. And then we also start to reach out to our young men that's in the streets of Inglewood, and we reach out to them before the crime gets started. We want to let them know that there's some people out here too that trust you, love you, and we respect you. So as we move forward with PAVE in our meetings that we talk about, we want to go viral. We want to start a YouTube channel. We want to start a Facebook with PAVE and dealing with the different things that we have, and we can get more people involved. So I see us going big. I want to go big.
That's fantastic, and I love the proactive nature to it, where you are trying to get out there and trying to prevent a lot of this. But you also do a lot of reactionary work, especially with the Mission USA Bridge organization.
Oh, yes.
Where you work with ex-felons, maybe let's call them, who are trying to assimilate back into society. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
So what does that work like?
Well, Mission USA is the bridge, and what we do at the bridge, what they do at the bridge is they try to bridge those who are coming out of prison, bridge them back into society. I'm telling anybody, I'm a great follower, and the gentleman who heads that is a gentleman by the name of Glenn Fitzgerald. He's the president. He runs it. I follow Glenn. I love the ministry. It's great, and to see these individuals that come out of prison and sit in these courses that they run, and to watch their reaction. And some of them just need to understand that there are folk who still love them, and yeah, they made a mistake, and in the mistake making, that there's a possibility, there's a chance that you can get right back into the groove. So I love the bridge. It's one of my favorite ministries.
And why is it important to make sure that these people do not get back into that groove?
Well, it's important to us, dealing especially us with the bridges, that understand that some folk make mistakes. Some people are not hardened criminals, they're not career criminals, they make mistakes. And unfortunately, I'm a character and integrity person, and if your character and integrity is damaged, most people judge you upon that. And so with the bridge, bridging them back into society to build back up their character, to get their integrity back together, lets the community know that, hey, they just made a mistake. He can come on back in and be a part of us. And that's one of the things that we try to do over at the bridge. We want to build back up character and the integrity in an individual.
Do you try to get them training in certain types of fields where they can find work? And
at the bridge they have that program. A gentleman by the name of Pete. Pete is they're one of that program directors over there. Him and his wife Tasha, they run that. They find jobs for them as they come out. They have a host of things over there that they do, and those that I know, I send them to him, and they have a great success rate as well in doing what they're doing. The bridge has been 20 some odd years. I've been with them, and I love it. I enjoy them. Enjoy them.
Great. I only bring that up because I feel like education is definitely the key to success, right?
Yes.
And I know you feel the same because you helped in 2010. You helped found the J29 Scholarship Foundation.
Yes.
Yeah. So who does this foundation serve, and to what capacity?
Well, J29 was found. We brought J29 to life when we have children in our neighborhoods who are. That's excellent work in school, great grades, the whole nine. But the problem is financially, they can't get to the actual schools that they want to get to, and so then they have to suffer and take on the second hand of the public school system. So J29 was born to help the parents struggling to get them into that great school, and we've partnership with some people, some good people, and I say names a whole lot. We partnership with the gentleman of Chicago Steel and Iron Company is across the street from our church, and their partnership with some folk in Cleveland, and they fund us the individual's tuition as we paying for their tuition. There's a lot of things that go along with it.
Yeah.
A lot of things that go along with it, and that's another tool to teach our children how to be responsible and how to take life serious, because in order to get the scholarship, you have to stay on your toes. You have to perform to get it. And so it was created to help parents that wanted to help that their children were good and good in school, but unfortunately couldn't pay for the Mount Carmels, couldn't pay for those type of schools. So the J29 Foundation was born to help them do that. We've had a young lady go through one of the schools, and she did a great job going through. A young man we got now going through there. They did a good job of going through, getting into those programs and utilizing their time very well.
That's fantastic. So let me ask you this. On May 16th, we are celebrating your 10-year anniversary, right, as pastor at Rose of Light.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this event.
This is a great 10 years. It's a black tie affair. I told him I've been in ministry 10 years, a decade. So I wanna open up with a black tie affair, just celebrating, just surviving 10 years in the ministry. It's and still looking pretty good.
Absolutely.
So
how could our viewers find some more information about your organization and this event?
They can call us at Rose of Light Missionary Baptist Church. We're located at 1302 West 74th Street, or they'll go on the website at rol.org, and all our information is there. We're located 1302 West 74th Street. Our hours there, Sunday morning between 11 and 2. Tuesday nights we're there with our Bible class from 7 to 9, and then Monday morning our Bible class. Come on by and see us. We would love to see you. The phone number they can reach us at is 773-580-1302 to get more information.
Thank you, Pastor Edwards, for joining me today. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having us.
And again, Focus on Tomorrow is an organization located in Chicago, Illinois. You can find us on the web at www.focus-on-tomorrow.org, or you can email us at info@focus-on-tomorrow.org. Again, my guest today was Pastor Jasper C. Edwards from Rose of Light Missionary Baptist Church in Inglewood. I'm Will Barroso from Focus on Tomorrow. I will see you next week.